What's she up to now? Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, but you can call me Pajama Grandma. In my Tarzan robe today because I felt like being a little more straight-laced and professional than I was yesterday. Yesterday it was all about rubber duckies. And yesterday was a really frustrating day. I didn't get squat done. And I did get a lot done, but it took me till like midnight, which for me, for Pajama Grandma and who I am these days, is really, really late. I start my days at 4. So 4 in the morning. So if I'm still up at midnight and I know I'm getting up again at 4 the next day, that makes for kind of a tough day. And I used to be able to go on 4 hours sleep when I was younger, and that didn't serve me very well. I ended up, not being here for a while and having to be frozen because I ran through my life. So I try really hard now not to be running through my life. How do I do that? Well, by creating systems and processes and procedures and templates and mechanisms and things and connections that work for me in terms of whatever it is that I'm trying to do, whatever results I'm trying to get. So as part of the Women's Summit, I realized I hadn't done any email communications or follow-up yet. I hadn't done anything. And I'm like, oh my God, that's a whole piece of the business, because when I decide I'm going to do something, I just jump in and do it. And I figure it out as I go along. That's what I'm doing with this Women's Summit. And it might be, people might say, oh, that's terrible, I could never do that. But I am learning so much by actually creating it and doing it that I'm doing more with this than I have in the last 2 years of just learning and studying and trying to figure out how to do things online. And have I dabbled and tried and thrown some things out there? Yes. Have I gotten the results I wanted? Absolutely, positively not. Because I didn't jump in with both feet and I didn't just do something. I mean, I did on a couple things, but I didn't go all in on it and do it in a really big way like I am with this Women's Summit. I just went all in on it. I just decided and just started doing it and started putting it together. And does that mean that I'm figuring things out along the way? Yes. Am I all of a sudden waking up in the morning and saying, excuse me, oh my God, this page isn't going to work right. I have to go in and I have to fix it. Yes. Oh my goodness, I don't have all the speakers loaded up. Oh my goodness, I don't have all the elements and all the aspects in the membership area. And like, oh my goodness, 2 days ago, I forgot to do the follow-up sequences or the emails or the encouraging people to attend the live event once they sign up for the live event. It might be 10 or more days before the event actually takes place. Well, I don't know about you, but I sign up for stuff all the time. And if it's even an hour away, I might get sidetracked doing something else and forget to attend it. So in order to make sure people actually show up and get the value that they can out of this amazing freaking summit, because it is amazing, I need to remind them to show up. Well, Sunday, day before yesterday, I was like, okay, what could I do? Well, how about I realized, oh, it's exactly 10 days away till the first day of the summit, the live summit. What if I do a top 10 countdown? I don't know. I grew up in the area with the, top 25 hit countdown every Sunday, I think it was, with Casey Kasem, and the top 10 countdown with, I want to say Jay Leno, but it's not Jay Leno. It is, okay, can see his face. Irritates the daylights out of me personally, but everyone loved him. Okay, I'll think of it later, but you know what I mean. He did a top 10 of all kinds of things throughout his comedy show, and it was awesome. It was one of the things that I would watch the show for. So I decided I'm going to do a top 10 countdown. Well, I had to go into what's called my autoresponder, my email sequence, and I had to figure out how to use that, because I've used it in different ways, but I'm using a beta part of the program to create this what's called follow-up sequence. And so when somebody joins the list to be a part of the summit, I immediately trigger different actions and trigger different emails to be sent to them. So once a day, I'm doing a countdown. So today was day 8, all about, they're all about customers, and they're all to encourage people to attend the summit and find out, oh my God, ask yourself, am I doing this? How's this working out for me? And then guess what? The answer's on the summit. Because it totally is. Oh my God. Some of the things every time I listen to one of the speakers, I get all these aha moments, and I'm like, how did I not know that? How am I not doing that in my business right now? How have I never done that in my businesses in the past? Why didn't I even think of that? Because some things are so in my face. I'm like, how is it that I've gotten to be this age and never actually applied that knowledge and information? some things, it's not like it's the first time I've heard it. It's probably the 100th or the 697th time I've heard it, and all of a sudden it clicked. And maybe it clicked because now I'm ready to hear it. But for whatever reason, I am just blown away by the incredible value and the incredible information that is in every single one of these speakers' interviews. It's just kind of crazy. Crazy in a good way. So I'm doing this top 10 countdown. So last night, after I got done with my daily obligations, because I'm doing something cool in my life that has nothing to do with business, and I love it with all my heart. After I got done with that about 5 o'clock, then I started plugging away and saying, all right, I need to figure out how to do this, because I didn't have day 10 or day 9 in my autoresponder sequence yet. So I needed to figure out how to add them. And as part of that, I wanted to create a template, because I know I'm going to do this 10 days in a row. Whenever I know I'm going to do something more than once or repeatedly, I try to create a system or a process or a template to give me the result I want, but also to make it easier. So now I know today when I go in to do day 8, I've already got a template for the email set up. And then I've got kind of a consistent way of doing other parts of that process. So how I create the title, how I name things, who it's from, those things will be consistent for all 10 days. It makes creating that so much easier. Now here's the really cool part. I know that creating this for this first summit is now putting things in place that I just have to make some little tweaks and changes for the next summit. Or the even better part is, I can get someone else to make the tweak and changes for the next summit. I don't have to do it all myself, because I put processes, systems, and procedures in place that anyone can do, anyone can use. That's the real power in it, is to do the work once or twice, once to figure out what to do, again, to figure out how to tweak it and improve it, and then put a system in place. Now, you don't just quit once you put it in place. Every once in a while, at whatever frequency makes sense, you come back and you check back, or when you discover something needs tweaking and fixing, you go in and fix it and improve it. I am a total believer in continuous improvement. Get it out there, see how it's working, fix what's broken, next, and just repeating that cycle again and again and again. I laugh how often I actually go back in my mind to the old plan, do, check, act cycle, because we can make complicated systems and procedures, and I'm very guilty of that, making things way more complicated than they have to be by having a 20-step process for something that really boils down to plan, do, check, act, plan, do, check, act, a 4-step process, right? Everything we do, and I learned this in my quality training, and I learned it it wasn't high school, it was college. I learned this process, and it's the quality cycle. It's called the quality cycle of continuous improvement, where we, plan, we do something, we check and see how it's working, and then we act accordingly. If it's something that's working for us, we systematize and create a process and system to make sure we get the predictable result. If it isn't working, then we tweak it and we repeat. We do it. We plan, what are we going to do? What are we going to do to change it? Then we actually do it and implement it, and we check and see how it's working. If it's working, we systematize it. If it's not, we continually improve it, and we change little things at a time until we continuously and with predictability get the result that we want. And for some things, if I'm making pharmaceutical products or car parts or something that's really life and death, I'm going to just get that down to almost perfection. If it's something that's, an email communication, I can just write that, see the kind of effect it gets, and then just tweak the wording, tweak the delivery time, tweak whatever it is. And it's not a matter of life or death. It's just get it done, right? And make sure that you're taking action to get the result that you want. So I'm working on that today. I'm working on how do I get a schedule that works around another person's life and needs, and still get what I need to get accomplished without having to stay up till midnight, because midnight doesn't really work for me. Like I said, back in the day, I could go with 4 hours sleep. Now, not so much. I've learned that I didn't used to believe that I needed more than 4 hours sleep a night, but I think that was based on my limiting beliefs that I had to do everything myself. Now I've learned that, guess what? I don't have to do everything myself if I put systems and things in place that I can teach other people how to do and get a predictable result as well. So that's what I'm working on today. I'll do day 8. I will go in and start typing up all the summary notes. I haven't started typing them up yet because I was figuring out how to do this follow-up sequence. I need to get those all typed up and ready. I need to get the checklists done. I think I said that yesterday and I didn't even touch it because I was going back in and figuring out how to use this software. And here's the thing, I haven't used it for a while. I used it a lot last year. I mean, a lot, every day. And then I stopped doing it because I was like, okay, I'm not bringing anyone into these email lists. I'm creating these huge, they're called action funnels, action follow-up funnels for certain things that I was doing every day. And I was creating these huge things. And after about 170 days, I'm like, all right, I'm not doing anything to bring people into this. So 170 days is plenty when I decide that I'm going to bring people into this, which I still haven't decided it because I'm not using it, but I've got all this content. When I decide to bring people into it, I can always now teach someone else how to pick up and add on to the end of this. So that could be like perpetual. I could have actually 400, I'm at day 401. I could have 400 messages in a sequence in one of these already. I mean, because I've got all the content created for that. But I don't need to be the one that goes in and does it every day. And actually now it's to the point where I could actually just hire out a VA to create all that content and put that into an autoresponder or into an email system for me to deliver to people on a daily basis for 401 days. So that's it. That's all I want to talk about today. I need to get to work and get some more of these things done. I'll report back tomorrow what's working, what's not, and how late I stayed up. Hopefully it's not midnight tonight. Go out, make it an awesome day. I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.